The official case for the Raspberry Pi 5 is basically like a saltine cracker, and this video is sponsored by Squarespace. I mean, the Pi 5 case works. It holds the Pi like a saltine holds peanut butter. It's fine, just it's nothing to write home about. It's cheap, the power button works, all the ports are accessible, and a few hats even work with it, but overall it's not easy to use if you have anything plugged into the top of the Pi, like a camera or any GPIO projects. The ventilation isn't great, meaning the fan has to run a bit more than you might expect, but the rubber feet hold it nicely on your desk. The best things, it's cheap, quick to put together, and it looks nice. 4 out of 5, the saltine of Pi cases. Going entirely the other way, form over function, but in the best way, there's Fractal's Baby North. I want to buy this, but I can't. This prototype was made for Computex. The reason they built it was so they could have a cute little box for the Pis they were using to play music. It was a sparingly beautiful means to an end, promoting their $200 Scape headset. But I so want one of these. Wood grain with a Pi 5? Perfect for Retro Corner. It has warts, like you can tell someone was like, we need access to the card slot, put a door there so we can pop it open. And it's definitely got that prototype vibe with the finish, and how it uses 12-volt fans instead of easier to adapt 5-volt fans. But come on, dual Noctua fans on the front, solid wood on the intakes? This is the case we all want for our Pis. Fractal, are you listening? Flesh this thing out, bring it to production, please. Wood out of 5, because I would recommend it, but I can't really give it a rating since it's not for sale. Now, contrast that with the Pironman 5. I was supposed to get one for this video, but it's stuck in shipping. I might test it out more in depth later, maybe on the second channel, but it promises everything. RTC battery, tower cooler, dual RGB exhaust fans, OLED display, port breakout so everything's plugged in on the back. That RGB alone gives your Pi 5 a few more horsepower, but there is one big glaring problem. That price. That's a pretty hefty sum to pay for the unicorn of Pi cases. But there is a market for it, a small one. I mean, there are also people crazy enough to buy a $120 water cooling kit too. And of course, on the DIY side, Michael Clements has the OG design the Pironman drew inspiration from, and he even posts the 3D print file so you can make one too. But it is fun to see where the high end goes, just because some of the ideas in this case can trickle down to the other ones, like integrating an RTC battery, something that's still pretty rare. Question mark out of 5, since mine is still stuck in the mail somewhere. EDATEC, or EDATEC, they're a company that did industrial stuff with the Compute Module 4, and they've taken a stab at a few Pi 5 cases now. They have 2 fanless cases, both of them completely surrounding the Pi with heatsink. This is great for thermals. In fact, I've been running their silver case next to my 3D printer for almost a month, and it's been perfect. GPIO access is fine, but getting a camera plugged in is a bit of a pain. Same goes for any PCI Express hats. There's a trade-off there. It looks like this design was made more for compactness than convenience. And if you run a Pi without any extra attachments, or if you have a lot of dust or something and just want a fanless box for it, these cases both work great for that. The screws it comes with are all hex bit, so that's a little different, but they do include the hex key, so I can't complain too much. For me, the port access sours things a little, but the price makes up for it. $7 for the open case or $16 for the box. 4 out of 5 stars. They're not perfect, but the price is good. Now, before we go further, I wanted to touch on hat compatibility. I said a month or so ago, I think SSDs will start taking over as the way to boot SBCs like the Pi in the next few years. A lot of these cases aren't compatible with third-party hats. Some cases, like the Fractal Baby North, have enough room for a hat inside, and that's awesome. But a lot of small cases, especially, don't have an easy way to mount Pineboard's hats or a Pimoroni dual NVMe base or anything like that. Outside of 3D printing your own case, there's no great option for mounting those boards, and like for me right now, I'm actually running an NVMe base bare. I just have it sitting in my rack with the rubber bumpers Pimoroni included. Is that the perfect solution? No. Is there a better way to rack mount a Pi 5? Yes. But I just wanted to point out, sometimes a case might look great and protect your Pi, but it kinda limits what you can do with your Pi. If you just want to use it as a mini desktop, that's great. But I already mentioned in a video earlier this year, there are mini PCs that are price competitive and better suited for that. So again, take into consideration what you want to do with your Pi before you go out and spend $50 on a case for it. And speaking of $50 cases, Argon 40's long made some of the coolest Pi cases, and I still run a Pi 4 in one of their older cases next to my 3D printer at home. They're durable, they break out all the ports to the back, and they add on handy features like an IR receiver and color-coded GPIO headers, or at least well-labeled on the cheaper Neo 5 case. I've been running this Neo 5 M.2 case as my retro Mac AppleTalk server for months, and besides the setup being a little bit finicky, it looks and feels great. The regular Neo 5 is about the same, just without the finicky PCI Express adapter board underneath. The microSD card slot cover is a little flimsy, but otherwise it's a solid case. The Argon 1 V3 M.2 takes up more desk space, but it turns the Pi into something closer to high-end Rockchip boards, at least in terms of port layout on the back. There's even full-size HDMI and a headphone jack. The Neo 5 M.2 is $38 and the 1V3 is $49. Both are premium, but their pricing's a little more down-to-earth than the Pironman. 5 out of 5 for the Neo 5. I have no issues with that case. 4 out of 5 for the Neo 5 M.2, but for the Argon 1 V3? I'm not gonna rate it today. Or, well, I'll give it a beware out of 5 because mine seems to work, but I've had a few people mention theirs didn't. This is a more complicated case than the other ones in the video because it has a more feature-packed expansion board inside. You might have to fiddle with firmware if you get an older board, so I still like it, but I don't want to officially recommend it, at least not yet. And there are tons of other cases. Like, there are hundreds of 3D printable cases on printables. There are DIN rail cases, unofficial cases to house third-party PCI Express hats, and even this wacky design that has an adapter for a 60mm Noctua fan on the official case. If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. I like that furful. And then there are tons of other commercial cases too. Flirk has a Pi 5 version of their fanless case, and Amazon has tons of options for whatever price range you have. But you know what? The case I use most often for the Pis I tinker with, it's this thing. Just a piece of acrylic with some standoffs. I like these because I can pop rubber bumpers on the bottom, the Pi on top, and have full access to everything. Put on an active cooler and it's the perfect little tinkering rig. I even run Pis naked sometimes. Not me, the Pi. But you can even stack these things for a cluster if you want. It's not going to prevent dust, and it's not a stylish heatsink case, but it's what I use most often when I'm not running a Pi long term. And even there, I do have a Pi on a tray in my rack right now. If it's easy, cheap, and it works, I'm not complaining. And using a tray like this also frees you up to try different coolers out, like 52 Pi's Armor Light or Argon's thermal coolers. You can even go wild with an ice tower, or Argon's ridiculous tower cooler. I mean, seriously, this thing is the definition of overkill. But it does keep the Pi's CPU almost at ambient temperatures, so if you have the space for it and $20 to spare, go for it. If you have another $20 to spare, head over to redshirtjeff.com and buy one of my hand-printed tees like it was DNS. While you're there, scroll down to the bottom. See that? It's a Squarespace site. To build my online store, they checked all my boxes. They have easy payments, they integrate with different shipping and fulfillment systems, and content and inventory is easy to manage. I used their Fluid engine and a nice minimal template to get a mobile-friendly design, and if you need help building your website, tools like Blueprint AI can help you fill in your designs and content to hit the ground running. I've already sold out of a few sizes of shirts in the month the store's been up. Thanks to Squarespace for making that easy. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/redshirtjeff to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Until next time, I'm Jeff Geerling.